what we did. So I said, okay, so we take a colander and we put it in the sink and we put this in the sink to rinse it in the colander. Then I transfer it to a bowl, which is over a cutting board, which is over plastic that's on the countertop. It was crazy, but that's what they wanted. That was the craziest part. And they're like, "Thank you for the detail. So here's where the problems are." And they would tell me exactly what I needed to do or where I needed to change it. People are vague. They're like, "What do you mean? I rinse it, I cook it. You're welcome." And they're like, "Yeah, that's not sufficient. We want to know where things can be cross-contaminated, where things are going when you're traveling with it. How long are you leaving it out when you're prepping? How long does it take you to prep? We want to know how much water you might be using when you're washing your hands if something happens." And I'm like, I was just being a butthead. I didn't know that that's what they wanted.
Hi, welcome to the Kitchen Convoy, your audio podcast and YouTube video home for Boulevard Bites, treats on the street, Main Street menus, nomadic nibbles, and anything food truck related. I'm your host, Nate, where every week we bring you stories, thoughts, and hot tips from food truck operators around the U.S. So, what's on the menu for today? Today I'm excited to speak with Theresa Jacobs from the Philippine Cuisine food trailer in Richland, Washington. Her mother started out selling hair scrunchies and handmade items at a farmer's market, but due to community demand for fresh Filipino food, that quickly grew into a food trailer business selling chicken adobo and fried rice and lumpia. I'm excited to hear her story about starting small, expanding into a full menu rolling restaurant, battling bureaucracy, and making delicious homemade food.
You're listening to The Kitchen Convoy.
Hi, welcome to the Kitchen Convoy. I'm Nate. I'm here with Theresa from Washington, and she has her Filipino food truck. So thank you for coming. I hope you're doing well today.
Oh, I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. All right. Hey, let's start off. I'd like to know a little bit about your background. So this is kind of the guest story portion. So can you tell us how you got started, some of the early decisions that you made? What does that look like?
Well, we started as a scrunchie booth at a farmer's market in Pasco. My mom saw this great little farmer's market. She's like, "I'm really good at making these cute little hair ties." So I helped her get a permit because she's not, paperwork was not her strong suit, but she was a hell of an entrepreneur. We went to the farmer's market and somebody mentioned, "Are you Filipino?" Because she looks the part and, "Can you make the food? Because there's a lady here. She used to make the food and she stopped coming and we need it." My mom's like, "Theresa, they need it." So, and so I helped her get the licensing and the permits and the health department on board, rented a spot at a commissary, and we started selling food. And next thing we knew, we had lines almost every week, just, piling up at the farmer's market. And these two gentlemen came by. They were a new food truck builder. They used to work for a big one and they wanted to be more customer based focused because the bigger ones are kind of, they do their own thing. They looked at our workflow and looked at what we would need. We started chatting with them and they showed us a layout that they thought would work for us. And we started building. We took out a loan and we started building a truck. There have been quite a few hiccups and we finally got it open and running, and it's still slow going. We're very new. We just started in May, but that's our story.
Okay. So before the truck, you said you were just in a booth. Is that like just a table or is that a tent?
Yep. You set up a table with a tent on top and try to keep it down during the winds, and the Tri-Cities can be a little bit turbulent, but yeah, we just we
I,
had a bunch of steam tables and a warmer and a little grill with propane tanks attached, and we'd fry everything right there on site.
yeah, I've heard because again, for most food truck owners, most people that do the food truck thing, it's either that most of the conversation is truck or trailer, but tent is also an option, and usually it can be a lot cheaper and faster to get into if you're not sure
It's
or something.
Oh no, it's a lot of setup time and a lot of teardown time, and 4 hours once a week. We were actually doing pretty good considering. That was That's quite a setup we had there. We had a lot of outlets to plug in for different things. So the steam table and the warmer had the outlets. We had rice cookers out there, and then we had a wok. And we'd fry something, load it up in the steam table. So pancit, fried rice, whatnot. Fry up a bunch of lumpia, and people would start coming and running us ragged. But it was great. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Hey, so when they first came to you and said, "Hey, can you feed us some Filipino food?" Did they tell you the recipes? Did they tell you the dishes or did
They would ask for specific dishes. Some of them we couldn't deliver on. So, like, I think I'm saying this right, keri keri. I don't speak Tagalog fluently. So, for you Filipino people out there, I'm sorry. I got the food down. The language is a struggle. Um, we couldn't make that on site. And it's usually served with bagoong. It's like a shrimp paste. We didn't have a license to sell seafood, so we didn't do that one. Um, Sometimes we'd have things like machado or just a bunch of different soups and things. We would change it up and have specials on different days of the week. But mostly we focused on the base dishes. And the one thing they always ask for is lumpia. Do you have lumpia? I miss it. When I was in the Navy, we had some of the best lumpia ever. And I'm just like, oh yeah, we got your lumpia.
Hey, I gotta ask you. Okay, so I know shrimp paste, it's just a usually like a small jar and it's you you needed a different license just for the shrimp paste?
Oh, oh yeah, no, you have to have license to get so we have beef and chicken. You add pork, that's another thing, unless it's pre-cooked. So if I want to put bacon on a burger, it has to be pre-cooked or not there. Same thing with seafood, same thing with a lot of things. Just the rules change, the criteria changes every time you add something in. I had issues with the health department when we started because they wanted a whole bunch of details and they always found problems with something. So, being the smart aleck that I am, I responded to all of their questions in asinine detail. What we did. So I said, okay, so we take a colander and we put it in the sink and we put this in the sink to rinse it in the colander. Then I transfer it to a bowl, which is over a cutting board, which is over plastic that's on the countertop. It was crazy. But that's what they wanted. That was the craziest part. And they're like, "Thank you for the detail. So here's where the problems are." And they would tell me exactly what I needed to do or where I needed to change it. People are vague. They're like, "What do you mean? I rinse it, I cook it. You're welcome." And they're like, "Yeah, that's not sufficient. We want to know where things can be cross-contaminated, where things are going when you're traveling with it. How long are you leaving it out when you're prepping? How long does it take you to prep? We want to know how much water you might be using when you're washing your hands if something happens." And I'm like, oh, I was just being a butthead. I didn't know that that's what they wanted. Um, so go figure. But no, the rules change with whatever you add on. And then if I add too many things on my menu, if they don't think I have the space on the truck to sustain it, they will have me remove another menu item. Just things like that. Even our hours are limited based on our tank sizes. So we can't open for more than 6 hours a day because we're working out of a food trailer. We're connected to constant power and water, but they won't let us operate like we are unless we want to apply as a building facility. So that's a whole other can of worms. We'll get there eventually.
I say it sounds like you've done your research. It sounds like you've been through the whole thing. And B, man, I think I understand that like if somebody wants to start a new food truck, they get the idea, okay, I'm going to make a beautiful menu and I'm going to have a beautiful truck and yeah, but there's so much more that goes into the whole thing.
Well, no, that was my job because my mom, she's like, I will cook, I will inventory, I will handle this. You are handling all of that. So I did. I handled all the paperwork and all the correspondence and, DOR, SOS, all the different entities that want to text the bejeepers out of you before you're done. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and I
So,
know that's very region dependent. I have family that they have a food truck in r- flyover country, rural Indiana, and kind of open the okay, yeah, you got a food truck. All right, you're good to go. And that's 90% of the inspections right there. It just depends on where you are, I guess.
yep.
Okay. Hey, well, let's move on to your menu. Have some
Okay.
delicious looking stuff. Can you give us a little bit background on how did you choose the menu items? What about sourcing ingredients? What does that look like?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I know a lot of people source ingredients and they go, to a special place or a local place. I'm actually not from this area. I just moved here in 2021 for a job that I still have, so it makes it harder. Um, we go to Winco and or Costco. I pick up my meats at Costco and I go to Winco and I pick up my own produce. I make sure it's good stuff. I don't want to just pick up whatever's there, like, they can deal with it. No, I will not serve substandard food. If it looks like crap, I'm probably going to redo it. Um, but our ingredients are basically the local grocery store and the cheapest one I can find right now. And actually, the produce at this one looks good. So if it didn't, I don't think I'd go there. Um, there are yolks and other places around here like it, and they source a lot of local stuff, but they tend to be pretty pricey. So I'm kind of dodging that right now. As far as the menu goes, that was interesting because my mom never had a standard recipe. She didn't have a standard set of ingredients either. So some days she would throw in like, oh, carrots and peas, and other times she'd throw in celery and carrots, and she'd throw in bell peppers in her fried rice sometimes, just whatever she felt like, and it always tasted amazing. But we needed consistency. So I was like, so for this, I need you to pick ingredients, and this is what we're going to shop for every week. She's like, oh, you're so boring. And she's like, I feel like you're limiting me. I'm like, I'm actually trying to help you. The health department and the customers may not appreciate so much variety because there's people who hate bell peppers or they hate cilantro. It's a thing. So settling on the menu, I think, was our number one thing. And the things we used to put in the lumpia, some of the ingredients got pulled because we couldn't get a hold of them consistently. So jicama, I can't always find. Um, or the bean sprouts, a lot of times they get recalled.
Okay.
So we pulled those. We used to throw shrimp in there, but a lot of people have an allergy and we can't do seafood. So we're doing base ingredients. And I listed all of them on the menu so people know exactly what they're putting in their tummy.
I saw that you have some allergen warnings and kind of descriptions for people. Yeah.
Yeah, I do need to update those too. So this should be interesting. We just added two new items, and I want to make sure that everyone is aware of what they're eating. Because there's a
Yeah.
lot of limitations. I have a sister-in-law, she's gluten-free, and her kids are different type of peanut-free, and I'm still working on that. So I just try to, when they come to the house, I have options available, and I just avoid those things altogether. So,
Yeah, I also usually ask about specialized diets because if you have I guess, base run-of-the-mill hamburger truck or hot dog truck, you kind of know what you're getting. But if you kind of veer away from that into different menus, and also these days, maybe people want healthier. They want vegetarian. They want vegan.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's a huge problem for us. So we've had multiple people come up to the truck. Do you have a vegetarian option? So recently we started cooking the meat and holding it separately in the steam table and then just making the fried rice, making the pancit and loading it. Sometimes we forget the meat because we forget that it's separate. And so I'm like, okay, we can't keep doing this. So actually last night we decided we are going to have a meaty one and a veggie one. And we're just going to make a half batch of the veggie ones because not many people ask for that. And that way it's there, it's on standby, and nobody misses their meat. If we missed it, I'm so sorry. My bad. The lumpia. We made lumpia this last week with no meat in it. So it's just the vegetables. I gotta say, it's pretty bland. I'm trying to work on that because it's hard to have that same flavor without the meat. So it's a work in progress, but we're trying.
Yeah, yeah. If your customers were asking you, saying, "Please cook for us," I'm guessing they might have a little bit of patience and kind of work with you a little bit.
Oh yeah, they're great. We've taken a feedback from several of our customers, and it has improved things. The one said you should have more combos because we just started with bihun, canton, fried rice. They're like, can you have like a combination of them or do different things? So we changed up the menu, added it on, came up with prices based on food cost and all that, and we that was one of my coworkers coming to my food truck and saying, maybe you could try this. I don't want to offend. And I'm like, no, no, no. give it to me. Give it to me straight. And my customer's like, do you have this? Do you have that? And well, I try to accommodate. I can't always do all the dishes, but I'm, doing our best with what we got.
Yeah, no, I get you. And then another question, because like for example, rice, I notice you're using a Calrose rice.
Hmm.
Does that make any difference at all compared to using like a jasmine rice or something? Does anybody even
Oh,
notice?
I love jasmine rice. I think it's delicious. Sometimes it's a little pricey, so I tend to lean towards Calrose because it's what I grew up with. It still tastes good with it, and it's you get a good bit for your buck. Um, I've tried other rices, like Mahatma and whatnot. I'm not a huge fan of those. Sorry. So I stick to Calrose because it's what I was raised on. I would love to do jasmine. I think that'd be amazing. It's a little spendy, and I have to be a cheapskate right now. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's also part of that's kind of the decision that somebody with a food truck needs to make. How authentic do we go? Because sometimes the more authentic you have, the price goes up, and then it kind of spoils the whole idea. So yeah,
oh
decisions have to
yeah,
be made.
there's an ingredient. It's called a calamansi, and my stepdaughter saw it. She was like, "Oh, what if we made drinks? Like lemonade drinks, but we use calamansi?" And I'm like, that sounds amazing. We looked at the price online, and it's like, no. We're not gonna do that. And then I looked at how it affects some people because it's not a common thing here. And actually, a lot of people with IBS and other conditions would have a very bad reaction to that particular fruit. So I was like, oh, well, we dodged that bullet. I'm glad we didn't just jump in head first. That and
Yeah.
slushy machines are kind of expensive. I kind of wanted to do like a cold, icy drink because it's about 100 degrees out here every day now. So a lot of people don't want hot food, they want the desserts. And that's another thing we haven't extended to yet. We're working on a dessert menu and trying not to steal from the guys behind us because they actually have the halo halo, which is the coconut ice with the fruit in it.
Mhm.
They serve it, so I don't want to step on toes. We're not going to double up on anything. We try to share our customers.
Yeah. Well,
So,
it sounds like your menu is a work in progress, and that's not a negative. I think that's actually good every day, every week, every month. Keep the stuff that works, and if it's not working, change it or make it work or something like that.
hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've been a heartbeat away from pulling the wheat noodles because it's not very popular. A lot of people just want the rice noodles and that's all they want. Then there's people who come up and they're like, I want the Canton. And I'm like, cool, I have that. And I'll sell one out of the whole batch. And I might have to lose that one because sometimes the noodles just aren't available. But I don't want to disappoint them when they come back.
Yeah, yeah,
We've had quite
it's
a
that
few repeat
balance.
customers, so it's a judgment call.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Last menu question. Can you choose 3 words to describe your menu?
Mm. Um, let's see. I I I don't know how to say it. It's just it's something that reminds me of my childhood. What's a word for that?
Not
It's
nostalgic?
thank you. Yes, I would say nostalgic and delicious. And I'd say homemade because it's not a recipe. I don't use recipes on my truck. When my stepdaughter's learning how to cook, she watches me cook, and it's not always the same. It's very close. But we just do it by eye and by taste. And it's like, oh, this isn't quite right. We're going to change it. You know, there's nothing on there that has measurements. I do it the way my mom taught me. You just do it.
Okay, so nostalgic, delicious, and homemade. Okay, that sounds
Yes.
good. Sounds good. Okay. All right, let's move on to our tips and tricks. So this is your opportunity to give a piece of advice, to give help to somebody that wants to start a new truck, or maybe they have a truck and they're just not having fun anymore, or it's more work or something. What's your reflection? What's your advice that you might give?
Well, for one, I'm very new at this and I'm an amateur. That's my disclaimer. So, feel free to ignore me. But I'd say when you're dealing with these entities, whether it's the health department, Secretary of State, or, whatever tax person comes to you, pay very close attention to what they're focusing on because they'll tend to get stuck on something and then pay extra attention to detail when you have anything to do with that. So whether it's steps in your food safety or having your EIN number or a bank account or are you doing this under the business name or are you doing it under your name? Uh, what are they looking at? And then ask questions because they're usually more than happy to answer them. And then I would pay or just do extra things. So I have procedures and a lot of detail in all my paperwork. So if they ask me questions, I have it on hand. So I don't have to keep answering it. I can like copy and paste it in an email and they get what they need and I get what I need and we can just move on. But knowing what they want and addressing it, make sure you address each one like a bullet point. Just, I know I'm a freak with lists. Not everyone is that way. But I would just say pay close attention to everything they ask you, what they focus on, and then respond to all of it. That way you're trying to cover all your bases. They're going to let you know if it's not sufficient. And that way you can just move on because that part sucks. It's horrible. I don't like any of it. Admin is not my thing. I've done that. I've done that job. I did not like it, and I love moving around. So you can get back to what you're doing as long as just shut them up. Do whatever you got to do to shut them up. It's like back in the day, I don't know if you did this, but your parents, if you wanted to go somewhere or do something, you knew what they were going to say. And it wasn't always yes or no. It's, did you clean your room? Did you do your chores? Have the dogs been fed? So before I asked them, I took all the steps I needed to and made sure it was all done. And then I went to them and asked, it's like, so what's up? I just polished your windshield too. Can I go?
So,
So just have all your stuff in order so you can get to whatever it is you want. It's business before pleasure. That's all that is.
yeah, so be organized. It sounds like be proactive also, and be
Hmm.
be communicative, I guess.
Yeah, they've been writing me about my temperatures because my freezer was having issues at the start. And they said you need temperature monitoring. So I got those. And they said you need to have this stuff printed out, ready to go. So if we ask for it, I'm like, great. And I look at all the data points. There's 2,000 data points. That's 48 pages per fridge per day. I'm like, I don't have that kind of paper or ink. So I made a spreadsheet, I copy, I paste, I throw it in there, and it lights up. So whenever it goes under temp or over temp or whatever, they know it and they know how long it was there. I do that every week just so if they come at me with it, I have it. It's ready to go. Um, I've never had to use it, but it's there. It's like a backup plan for my backup plans. So
Okay, so yeah, fight the good fight, I guess.
I'm trying.
Okay. All right, let's move on to our lightning round.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
you'll be fine. Okay, so this is five questions. Just the first answer that comes to your head. Okay, are you ready? You can take a deep breath.
Sure.
Just relax. Kind of do some meditation really quick. Okay.
Easier said than done.
All right, question one. How long would you survive a zombie apocalypse? Go.
Ooh. Hmm. I want to say a couple months. Then again, my sister always told me that if there was a zombie apocalypse, she was going to push me and run for it. So I guess we'll see. How valuable will I be? Because when she's in that situation, every man for himself. No, I'd probably die in a few days. I tend to give.
I, I'd say just start practice your running now if you can outrun your
Oh,
sister.
I am not a runner. I am I'm resourceful, but I am not a runner.
All right, question two. What is the best vegetable? Go.
Oh my God. Bell peppers. I love bell peppers. I,
Okay. All right. Question three. What is your go-to karaoke song?
oh, Heavy Metal by Sammy Hagar.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Unexpected. All right. All right. Question four. If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Invisibility. I
Okay.
can be nosy and no one's gonna know.
Okay. All right, last question. What food do you love but most people hate? Go.
Oh my gosh. Uh, I usually have answers for this. I'm blinking. Um, oh, I can't think of anything. Um, everyone I love, everyone else loves, so it always runs out too fast. I don't usually get any. uh, kiwi maybe? No, people like kiwi, but cilantro. There we
Okay,
go.
okay, okay. All right. Some people,
Sorry, my
honestly,
family members need.
I would have said
I love it.
shrimp paste because that is a.
Oh, I don't eat that.
Oh, you don't like it either. Oh,
No,
okay.
no. So like I don't know if I like it or not. I've never tried it. I just know it's fermented and it's not always safe. It can poison you and sometimes, and I'm like, that's probably why they don't allow it a lot of places. But
I know
no, I've never.
it's if my wife cooks sometimes, and if she opens the jar in the kitchen, I will smell it in the living room. Oh, you just opened shrimp paste, didn't you? It's so powerful. And durian, that might be another
This is
option too.
happening. No,
Yeah, yeah. Durian, do you like durian or no?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Okay, it's the smell is bad. The taste is okay, but a lot of people complain about the smell too. Okay. All
Like
right,
Marmite or something.
that was it. That's the lightning round. It was easy,
Oh,
right? Not too bad. It's
it's
okay.
okay. You stumped me, but
Yeah, it's just for fun. All right, so last section. I call it what's in your glove box? Is there one item, one thing, one lucky charm that you always have to have with you? Something that's the secret to your success.
my handyman, that little multi-use tool. I have had it since the Navy, and it's always come in handy. So I love having that thing, whatever it is.
Okay,
It's always there when I
yeah,
need it.
the Leatherman. They have there's so many different versions
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay,
Same difference. Yep.
yeah,
Gerber, Leatherman, whatnot.
you got the knife and the whatever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. You have a screwdriver when you need one, or something to open packages or boxes, or hey, I need pliers. Guess what?
ching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got
Okay.
my handyman.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. Hey, we're at the end of everything I have. Do you have anything else? Anything else you want to say?
Um, Well, no, I think that might be kind of arrogant considering, but I'm still pretty new at this. I don't think I have business giving people advice, but
Yeah, but you
I just
do
say just
have a business, and it's you're changing it and you're growing it. I think you do have some experience worthwhile.
I well, I more or less inherited this. Mom started it and I handled all the paperwork, and when she passed, taking over has been a challenge. Um, I guess if you are in a situation like that where you're with someone that's gonna pass it off to you, I would get everything transferred over ahead of time. That's a huge challenge. I would make sure you have all your stuff in order for your loved one who you think is going to take over too, because they're going to need things. They're going to need numbers and account statements and something saying that they're in charge. And it helps to have all these things updated beforehand. Um, as far as the business part, just I take a recorder with you. Take a phone and record the conversation or write things down if you're a good note taker. That way you can address everything in your own time because chances are you're going to forget and there's stuff you've never heard of that you wouldn't even think to address that they want. Um, but yeah, just pay attention, record or take notes and just follow up on all of it.
Okay.
There
Uh,
is sunlight in my eyes. That is just
Okay. No,
okay.
I think that's good advice because okay, I've only been doing this for a few months. Yeah, but you've been through the bureaucracy and you know how to be proactive. That's valuable advice. So I think that's a good thing to say. So, okay. Hey, well, Theresa, hey, thanks for joining us today. It sounds like you kind of started small and you're working towards something big, and it sounds like you have a lot of community support and people demanding your products, and it sounds like you know what you're doing. Even if you haven't been doing it for years, it sounds like you have a pretty good handle on it. So, hey, thanks for coming.
Nice.
I think our audience has learned something from you today. So, uh, Thanks, and keep on trucking.
Okay, toot toot.
As always, folks, if you feel that we are bringing value to your food truck business, please like, subscribe, share on all the social media, including YouTube and your favorite podcast provider. Our goal here at the Kitchen Convoy is to bring you in-depth stories, problems and solutions, and actionable advice that you can use today to improve your food truck business tomorrow. If you'd like to see your food truck showcased on the Kitchen Convoy, send an email to thekitchenconvoy@gmail.com. You can also go to our website, kitchenconvoy.com, scroll to the bottom, fill out our short form, and hit the big orange submit button. Or if you have a thought-provoking question that you think one of our professional food truck operator guests might be able to answer for you, you can send that email to thekitchenconvoy@gmail.com also. And once again, I'd like to remind you that OrderUpApps.com is your partner in the food truck business. If you want to add professional branding and an all-in-one service to your truck, I suggest you visit OrderUpApps.com. See you next time, and keep on trucking.
Thank you for listening to the Kitchen Convoy.